What if I told you that true power doesn't roar, demand, or dominate, but instead listens? That in a world built on noise, the calm woman is the quiet storm, the one who disarms chaos, not by fighting it, but by transcending it. Her strength doesn't manifest in argument or assertion, but in an unshakable stillness that unsettles those who haven't yet met their own silence. Because calmness in its purest essence is not weakness, it is mastery. This mastery, however, is not easily earned. It's not the calm born from suppression where emotions are buried and expression is feared. It's the calm that comes after the long descent into one's own darkness, after confronting every storm that once ruled the mind. In depth psychology, this journey is known as individuation, the process through which a person integrates all aspects of the self, the ego, the shadow, the anima or animus, and the divine essence within. The calm woman has not escaped her storms. She has walked through them. Every quiet breath she takes is an echo of all the wars she has already survived. To the untrained eye, her calmness may seem passive. Some mistake her serenity for detachment, her silence for submission. But those who live in chaos often misread peace. They cannot comprehend the kind of woman who doesn't need to shout to be heard, who doesn't chase to be chosen, who doesn't crumble when she is unseen. She has withdrawn her energy from the endless dance of approval and rejection that governs the unconscious mind of most people. There's a profound truth here. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The calm woman is the one who made it conscious. She no longer moves according to external triggers because she understands where those triggers come from. The unhealed child, the wounded ego, the hungry shadow. If you were to look at her from afar, you might think she lives untouched by the pain of life. But her calmness wasn't inherited. It was cultivated through deep inner work, through countless nights where she sat with her own fear and did not flee. She learned to listen to the voice of her shadow, the envy, the rage, the grief, and in listening she integrated them. This is the secret that depth psychology hints at: what you resist persists, what you accept transforms. The calm woman doesn't deny her darker emotions. She lets them speak until they lose their grip on her. Imagine this. A woman stands in the center of a storm. Around her, people argue, voices rise, emotions collide. The air itself vibrates with tension. Yet she remains unmoved, still grounded, breathing. It's not that she's unaware of the chaos. She senses it all. She feels the anger, the fear, the insecurity that swirl in the space between words. But instead of reacting, she observes. She watches with eyes that see beyond behavior into the unseen world that drives it. The wounded inner child, the disowned shadow, the unconscious hunger for control. She has learned that most human conflict is not between two people, but between two unhealed psyches trying to protect themselves from pain. When we explore Carl Jung empath and personal development, we discover this essential truth. Her calmness is not a mask that hides her emotions. It is the serenity that comes from no longer being ruled by them. She has seen the dark within herself, the jealousy, the pride, the desire to be right, and she no longer fears it. She understands that only those who deny their darkness are consumed by it. The calm woman does not repress. She transcends through awareness. In a world that glorifies reaction, her stillness becomes rebellion. Society teaches women to respond, to explain, to apologize for their strength, to justify their silence. But she no longer explains her calmness. She knows that peace cannot be understood by those who live in chaos. The loud, the restless, the emotionally unanchored will always find her unsettling. They'll say she's cold, distant, difficult to read. What they really mean is that she cannot be controlled, because control depends on reaction, If she reacts, she can be manipulated. If she argues, she can be provoked. If she defends, she exposes her vulnerability. But when she remains calm, truly calm, not as pretense, but as a state of inner alignment, she becomes untouchable. The chaos around her loses its grip. This is the psychological alchemy of self-mastery, the transmutation of emotional volatility into clarity. The ancient wisdom understood this well. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The calm woman has realized this. She no longer expects the world to conform to her peace. She brings peace into the world. She has ceased chasing control over circumstances and instead cultivated dominion over her inner landscape. But calmness doesn't mean disengagement. She can speak, and when she does, her words cut through noise like a blade through fog because they come from centered awareness, not emotional reactivity. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. The calm woman lives by this truth. When someone tries to provoke her, she pauses. Not because she's weak, but because she's curious. What part of me does this trigger? She silently asks. And in that reflection, she transforms the moment from confrontation into self-knowledge. It's not that she doesn't feel anger. She does. But her anger no longer dictates her actions. She has befriended her anger, understood its roots in pain, in boundary violation, in unmet needs. When she feels it rising, she listens instead of reacting. This awareness disarms the unconscious pattern before it takes control. Emotional maturity, after all, is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of expression. Calmness is the ultimate sign of integration. It is the merging of opposites within the psyche, the light and dark, the conscious and unconscious, the masculine and feminine. In depth psychology, this sacred union is called the conjunctio, the alchemical marriage of the inner opposites that births a whole self. In her calm, the woman embodies this wholeness. Her inner masculine is disciplined, focused, discerning. Her inner feminine is intuitive, receptive, compassionate. Together they create balance. When others lose themselves in emotional storms, she becomes their mirror. Some will find peace in her presence. Others will find discomfort because her calm reveals the chaos in them. This is why truly calm people often attract both admiration and projection. There was a time when she was not calm, when her emotions dictated her every move, when the smallest shift in someone else's tone could unravel her sense of worth. Back then, she mistook intensity for connection, attention for love, and silence for rejection. Her world was a series of emotional tides, rising, crashing, pulling her in directions she didn't understand. Like many, she lived inside the unconscious patterns of her upbringing, shaped by wounds she did not cause, but carried all the same. The calm woman was once the frantic woman, the overthinker, the pleaser, the one who wanted so desperately to be understood that she lost herself trying to be chosen. Her transformation began the day she stopped running from her own pain. For years, she had sought peace through others, through love, validation, success. But peace that depends on something outside you will always vanish. One day, perhaps in heartbreak or solitude, she realized this truth. She understood that no one could give her what she had not yet given herself: safety. So she turned inward. That turning was her initiation. It began quietly, a pause, before reacting, a moment of reflection before speaking. At first, her silence felt unnatural, almost painful. The ego, hungry for defense, whispered, "Say something, prove yourself." But she resisted. She began to notice how often her reactions were not conscious choices, but old wounds replaying themselves. The way she tried to rescue others to feel needed. the way she avoided conflict to feel safe, the way she performed calmness instead of embodying it. She began to see how her own patterns kept her enslaved to the very chaos she claimed to avoid. Shadow work, as it's known in Carl Jung empath and personal development, is the art of seeing what the ego refuses to see. And she was courageous enough to look. She wrote, she meditated, she sat with the discomfort that rose like a tide in her chest. Sometimes she wept without understanding why. Sometimes she laughed at her own illusions, but each time she faced the shadow, a piece of her soul returned. She realized that the emotions she once feared, anger, grief, jealousy, were not enemies. They were messengers. Each carried wisdom about her boundaries, her desires, her needs. When she learned to listen without judgment, they softened. What once ruled her now served her. This is the crucible of transformation, the burning away of false identities until only essence remains. The calm woman's serenity is the ashes of all the selves she no longer needs to be. She has shed the persona, the mask we show to the world. No longer does she smile when she means no, agree when she feels violated, or speak to fill silence. Her calmness is now rooted in truth, not performance. She learned that to be calm is not to be emotionless. It is to feel everything deeply, but remain anchored in awareness. The waves still come, but she no longer drowns. She has built an inner shore. In that space, she can hold both joy and sorrow, love and loss without losing balance. This is emotional alchemy, the transformation of suffering into wisdom. She began to practice amor fati, the love of fate. She stopped wishing for life to be easier and began to accept it as it is. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. She saw the truth in that. Her anxiety, her fear of the future, her regret over the past, all of it was born from resistance to what is. In calmness, she discovered surrender. Not the passive kind, but the kind that trusts life's rhythm. The calm woman learned that she doesn't need to control outcomes, only her presence within them. When others betray her, she doesn't close her heart. When plans fail, she doesn't collapse. She has realized that what leaves is never hers to keep, and what stays cannot be forced. In moments of solitude, she communes with something greater, the self, the divine core beyond ego and shadow. There she finds the infinite calm that no external storm can shake. It's the center that holds when the world falls apart. When she reemerges into the world, her energy feels different. People sense it before she speaks. The way she listens makes others slow down. The way she moves carries gravity without heaviness. Some will be magnetized to her presence. Others will feel intimidated by it. But she doesn't adjust her energy to make others comfortable. She no longer dilutes her calmness to fit the world's chaos because she knows this calmness is contagious. It regulates the nervous systems of those who have never known peace. It offers a mirror of what is possible, a way of being that is not bound by fear or control. There comes a moment in every inner journey when the soul is asked to choose: remain loyal to the familiar chaos that once defined you, or surrender to the unknown calm that demands you let go of everything that no longer fits. For the calm woman, this was the final threshold. The transition was not dramatic. It rarely is. There were no grand epiphanies, no sudden enlightenment. Instead, it unfolded through small, ordinary moments, not replying to a message written in anger, walking away from conversations that drained her, choosing solitude over validation, presence over distraction. These moments built upon one another layer by layer until one day she realized she no longer sought peace. She was peace. The woman she once was would have filled silence with noise, mistaking stillness for emptiness. Now silence feels sacred. It is in silence that she communes with her own soul. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. The calm woman has awakened. She has turned her gaze inward long enough to recognize that everything she once searched for, love, safety, meaning, was never lost. It was only hidden beneath layers of fear and forgetting. From this awakened state, her calmness becomes luminous. It's not the fragile peace of avoidance, but the grounded serenity of embodiment. She no longer suppresses emotion. She channels it. When she feels sadness, she doesn't drown in it. She lets it soften her. When she feels anger, she lets it show her where her boundaries have been crossed. Emotions are no longer her masters. They are her guides. In this space of integration, something profound happens. Duality dissolves. She no longer sees the world as friend or foe, success or failure, gain or loss. Everything simply is. Life reveals itself as a vast interplay of opposites, each necessary for the other's existence. This is what it means to hold the tension of the opposites, the ability to bear contradiction without collapsing into despair. It is the mark of maturity, the evidence of a soul that has grown vast enough to contain paradox. And paradox is where real calmness lives. It is the still lake that reflects both the light of day and the darkness of night without judgment. When she speaks now, her words come slowly, deliberately. She no longer wastes energy convincing others. She understands that truth needs no defense. It simply is. Her calmness disarms the need for persuasion. Those ready to hear will hear. Those who are not will learn in time. Her presence plants seeds, not arguments. The wisdom of antiquity taught that the ultimate freedom lies in mastering one's perception. It is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things. The calm woman has tested this wisdom. She has seen how her suffering once multiplied through interpretation, through stories of betrayal, rejection, and loss. Now she sees events as they are neutral, transient, impersonal. The meaning she gives them is her choice, and she chooses peace. And yet calmness doesn't make her distant from the world. It connects her to it more intimately. Because she no longer fears her own emotions, she can sit with others in theirs. Her calm presence gives others permission to exhale, to be seen without judgment. She becomes a vessel through which empathy flows, not pity, but true compassion, seeing another's suffering without trying to fix it, because she understands that pain itself is part of the psyche's unfolding. This kind of calm has power beyond measure. It changes relationships, workspaces, even families. Those who live near her begin to unconsciously mirror her regulation. Arguments soften, tension dissolves, children feel safer, lovers feel seen. She teaches not through words, but through embodiment. But there will always be those who misunderstand her calm. Some will mistake her silence for arrogance, her detachment for indifference. These are the ones still bound by noise, threatened by the mirror of stillness. The calm woman knows not to defend herself against their projections. At times, loneliness accompanies her peace. The higher the mountain of awareness, the fewer travelers one meets along the path. But she no longer sees solitude as exile. Solitude has become her sanctuary, the space where she meets her own wholeness. When she looks at the world now, she sees it through different eyes. She no longer seeks to fix or judge it. She knows that every person is a soul in process, wrestling with their own unconscious. The angry are learning boundaries. The fearful are learning trust. The controlling are learning surrender. And she, too, in her calm, is still learning the endless humility of being human. For true calm is not an endpoint. It is a living relationship with life itself. It breathes shifts, expands, contracts. It is both a discipline and a grace. Calmness no longer feels like an effort, but a remembering, an ancient wisdom awakening in the bones. The calm woman begins to see that what she once called strength was merely tension, and what she once feared as weakness was softness misunderstood. For calmness in its purest form is softness, the kind that bends but does not break, that absorbs impact and returns to stillness. It is the yielding that contains infinite strength. This is the paradox of power. The calm woman is not powerful because she resists the world, but because she no longer fears its flow. Like water, she adapts without losing her essence. She has learned that control is brittle, but presence is indestructible. Her calm is the mark of someone who has surrendered the need to win and instead chosen to understand. To the ego that looks like defeat, to the soul, it is liberation. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The calm woman has accepted that privilege. Now she walks through life with a quiet confidence that cannot be taken away. People sense it the way she carries herself, unhurried, unbothered, yet fully awake. She doesn't chase, she attracts. She doesn't prove, she embodies. In relationships, her calm transforms the dynamic. She no longer confuses intensity with intimacy. She knows that love rooted in fear of loss is not love, but attachment. True love, like true calmness, is spacious. It allows both souls to breathe. The calm woman can be devoted without dependency, open without losing herself, present without possession. Those who meet her often find themselves disarmed. Her calmness challenges the unconscious ego in others, the part that feeds on reaction. Some will test her boundaries, trying to provoke a response that never comes. Others will soften, sensing that her silence does not judge, but understands. This is her quiet influence. She invites others to meet her at her frequency, or not at all. She no longer fears endings. Where once she would have clung, now she releases. She knows that what is meant for her will align naturally, and what isn't will drift away without resentment. Calmness has also given her discernment. She can sense manipulation without accusation, dishonesty without drama, energy, imbalances without judgment. Her intuition, sharpened by stillness, reads what words cannot hide. Yet she chooses not to expose others, but to guard her peace instead. There are moments when the world still shakes, her grief, betrayal, injustice. But now she allows those tremors to move through her without resistance. She feels them fully, then lets them pass. She has learned that peace does not mean perpetual happiness. It means acceptance, the ability to hold both pain and beauty in the same breath. When she looks back on the woman she once was, she feels tenderness, not shame. She honors the one who tried, who fought to be seen, who mistook noise for strength. Without her, there would be no awakening. Every wound became a teacher. Every failure, a sacred push toward inner sovereignty. She understands now that nothing was wasted, not even the suffering, especially the suffering. Because suffering, when faced consciously, purifies. It burns away illusion, revealing truth, stripping you of everything that is not essential until only essence remains. Now her calm radiates beyond her personal life. In her presence, others begin to remember their own capacity for peace. Children feel safe. Friends feel heard. Even strangers sense something, an inexplicable ease, as if the world briefly makes sense again. This is the power of integration in Carl Jung empath and personal development. When one person becomes whole, it ripples into the collective. The fate of humanity depends on the integrity of the individual soul. The calm woman, by becoming whole within herself, participates in healing the collective unconscious. Her journey is not glamorous, but sacred. It is the revolution that begins within and changes everything without. In a world addicted to speed, distraction, and noise, her calmness is a radical act of defiance. She stands as living proof that power need not be loud, that strength can coexist with softness, and that peace, true peace, is not given, but created from within. And so when life brings her once again to the edge of uncertainty, she doesn't panic. She breathes. She remembers that storms pass, people change, seasons end, but the calm within remains. Because she no longer identifies with what moves. She identifies with what is still. In that stillness, she has found freedom. A freedom that cannot be granted or taken away. A freedom that exists beyond circumstance, beyond validation, beyond the chaos of the world. It is the freedom of knowing yourself so completely that nothing external can shake your foundation. This is the power of the calm woman. Not loud, not demanding, not dominating, but undeniable, unshakable, whole. She has walked through her own fire and emerged not burned, but forged. And in her quiet presence, she gives others permission to do the same. The journey is long, but the destination is worth it. Because at the end of all the inner work, all the shadow integration, all the emotional alchemy, what remains is simple you, in your truest form, finally at peace with all that you are. And that peace changes everything.